Hey guys, how's it going? Spinosaurus the King here, and in this video, I'm going to be joined by a special guest. Go ahead, bro. Introduce yourself.
Hey friends, it's David. How y'all doing? And I'm glad to be back for another video with Spinosaurus the King.
Yeah, man, glad to have you back for this video. So today's video, we're going to be talking about the main differences from Jurassic Park's novel and the actual movie, and also the Lost Worlds novel and the actual movie directed by Steven Spielberg, and of course the novels were by Michael Crichton. So since David actually read the novels, like I actually didn't read the novels yet, but I do plan to read them very soon, but I do know a good majority of actually what happens in the novels. So David, since you're the guest and since you read the novels, why don't you start off by telling us some differences between the first film and the first novel?
Oh boy, broski. Boy, are there several differences. For example, characterizations are quite a bit different. For example, Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler, for example. In the movie, they're like a few years apart in age and they're romantically involved. But in the novels, Ellie was actually one of Grant's students, and she was engaged to another guy from another university.
Man, is that different or what?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Also, Grant had a slightly different appearance and personality. He's described in the novel as having a beard, and also he really likes children in the novel because of how much they love dinosaurs. They changed that in the movie, to give him some character development.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, from my experience of reading novels and watching movies, I haven't really seen a novel that's exactly the same as a movie. Like another example is Diary of a Wimpy Kid. When I was younger, I read all the books and compared them to the movies. They were actually quite different. And also Harry Potter. I've read all the books about that, and I compare those to the movie and the Lord of the Rings books as well. They're not the same to them. They're like they have a good amount in common, but they're far from being exactly the same.
Tell me about it.
But that's what makes these things different. I love reading the books and watching the movies just to point out the differences. Like, for example, there is some differences I like better with the novels and some differences I like better with the movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
that's for sure.
Also, as far as other characterizations go, Donald Gennaro, the lawyer, he actually is a lot more heroic in the novel. Like, he does more good deeds. A lot of what he does bad in the novel, like being wimpy and cowardly and kind of mean, that was actually more based on a character in the novel named Ed Regis, who was a park relations manager.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Regis doesn't appear in the movie, so.
True. Now, another big difference that I know is that in the novel, it was a fully grown Dilophosaurus, and it brutally murdered Dennis Nedry. There was guts. Oh my god.
Everything.
Jesus. Now, I know that sounds dark, but like personally, I would love to see a rated R Jurassic film, but I don't think we're ever going to get that. And I think the reason why they keep it somewhat like reasonable is because a lot of kids also watch Jurassic Park,
Yeah, that makes sense.
But at the same time, I don't even think Jurassic Park should be for kids because like we've seen people being torn in half, people being eaten alive in these movies.
Oh, speaking of that, bro, here's another really big difference. Remember how in the Lost World, like, it opens with the beach scene and the little girl gets attacked by a compy?
Yeah, I remember that scene.
That actually happens in the first novel.
Oh my god,
yeah,
wow.
This girl and her family are on vacation in Costa Rica. Her name's Tina. And like as she's exploring the beach, she comes across a compy. Only instead of Compsognathus as in the films, it's Pro-Compsognathus in the novels. And basically she gets bitten by one of them.
Now, I do have a question that, like, I was actually meaning to ask other people. Was there a book on Jurassic Park 3 by Michael Crichton? I don't think there was, right?
No, there wasn't.
Okay, so Jurassic Park 3, it's not based off any book, right?
Correct. Although they did take a few elements from the books that were not adapted into the films. For example, like the aviary scene and the Spinosaurus riverboat attack scene. Those were, I believe, inspired by scenes that were originally from the novel, because in the novel there was actually a pterosaur aviary.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Grant and the kids, like after escaping the T-Rex, they use an inflatable raft to go down the river of Isla Nublar, and they wind up in the pterosaur aviary, which was originally supposed to be a hotel as well, but the pterosaurs in this novel, Sierradactylus, were much too aggressive.
True. Well, yeah, that's very interesting. And now, another cool scene that I currently know of in the first Jurassic Park film in the novel is that there was a T-Rex river attack, like, in the river.
Oh, yeah, like, Grant, Lex, and Tim are rowing their raft down the river, and they see the T-Rex asleep on the shore. But then it wakes up, and it starts to pursue them, and it shows that it's actually a really capable swimmer.
That now, imagine we got that in the first film. That actually would have been really cool. Like there's certain scenes in the first like novel that I wish we saw in the first film. That would have been awesome.
Well, both the river attack scene and the pterosaur aviary scene were planned to be in the first film, but they were cut out for budgetary and timing reasons.
Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. What about Ray Arnold? Was he in? How did he die in the novel?
He was killed by a raptor, but I believe the circumstances were different. Also, he's not called Ray in the novel.
Oh, what's he called in the novel?
His name's actually John.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool.
But yeah, I mean, the character's name is technically John Raymond Arnold in the film canon, but they call him Ray Arnold in the movies to differentiate him from John Hammond.
True. Now, I also know that Dr. Henry Wu in the novel, he died by a velociraptor, but in the first film, like in the action movie franchise, he survives, yeah.
Yep, that was during when they're trying to get the power back on, and Wu actually tries to warn Sattler about the raptors, but then one of the raptors kills Wu.
That's true. Now I know this too. In the movie canon, John Hammond was actually a good guy. He wasn't evil, but in the novel, he was really evil, right?
Well, I wouldn't say evil, but he was a very corrupt businessman, often putting money and his dinosaurs over people, and also blaming others for his mistakes.
True. It kind of seems like that with Dr. Henry Wu as well. Like if you look at him in the movies, he's pretty evil, but in the novel, he doesn't seem so bad because he even tried to warn Dr. Sattler. He just seemed like a normal worker, you know. But in the movie canon, he's evil.
Mm-hmm.
But like at the same time, I didn't know Dr. Wu was evil until Jurassic World came out because like as soon as Vic Hoskins said in Jurassic World, "Oh, Dr. Wu works for us," at that point it was a big plot twist for me because I had no idea that Dr. Henry Wu was evil. I thought he was just a normal Jurassic Park and Jurassic World worker. I didn't know that he was evil until now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that also reminds me. Remember the scene in Jurassic World where Simon Masrani confronts Wu?
Yeah.
That was actually very loosely inspired by a conversation that Wu and Hammond had in the novel, where they discussed different versions of the dinosaurs.
That's pretty cool, actually. I never thought about that.
Oh, speaking of dinosaurs, there are actually different dinosaurs that appear in the novel that don't appear in the film adaptation.
That is true. Like for the Lost World, there was Carnotaurus in the Lost World, but in the movie there was no Carnotaurus. That's one of them I know.
But also, but going back to Jurassic Park, instead of a sick Triceratops, they took care of a sick Stegosaurus.
I heard about that, but the reason why they changed it to a Triceratops is because Steven Spielberg wanted to use his favorite herbivore, right?
You know, I actually never heard the reason why.
Oh, well, apparently that was the reason why, according to some people I chatted with.
And also, instead of Brachiosaurus, it was Apatosaurus.
Oh, wow. That's pretty interesting.
And instead of Parasaurolophus, we had Hadrosaurus and Maiasaura.
Oh, wow. So, I mean, there's a lot of differences, eh?
And also, the Microceratus appeared in the novel, but at the time it was known as Microceratops.
Wow, that is pretty interesting. Now, when it comes to how Isla Nublar and Isla Sorna ended in the novel canon, we know that Isla Nublar was eventually nuked by, I think it was John Hammerstein. They nuked Isla Nublar.
Actually, it was the non-existent Costa Rican military that napalmed the island.
Oh, true. So I guess that's how Isla Nublar ended in that. But Isla Nublar in the movie canon ended by the volcano.
So, Nublar dying of a fiery death was kind of an inspiration from the novel, but, you know, the fiery death had different executions in the canons.
Exactly. Now, when we talk about Isla Sorna in the canon novel, the dinosaurs died by the plant disease. Now, but in the movie,
yes.
Exactly. But in the movie canon, what happened to Isla Sorna, we don't exactly know. All we know is that apparently the surviving dinosaurs were moved to Nublar, which is possible, but we don't physically or exactly know what happened to Isla Sorna because it wasn't mentioned in any of the movies. So right now, Isla Sorna is up for debate. What happened, in my opinion.
Exactly.
I mean, what would you say? Do you think guaranteed like something happened to Sorna, or it's kind of up for debate what exactly happened?
Personally, I think it's up for debate. I mean, I believe that
agree.
The ecosystem was changed due to the introduction of Spinosaurus and Ceratosaurus and the like, but I guess without official confirmation, everything is a mystery at this point.
Yeah, true. Because like I keep hearing different rumors on what happened to Sorna. Apparently, the Spinosaurus ended all the Sorna dinosaurs, which I don't agree with. I mean, it's possible, but don't think it would be like an Indominus Rex. Another thing is obviously the plant disease might actually end up being canon to the movie franchise, which is possible. Another reason is apparently maybe it's possible that the volcano on Isla Sorna erupted because apparently there is a volcano on Isla Sorna.
Well, they did have geothermal power, so...
True. Another reason is maybe Biosin even took off the dinosaurs from Sorna. I mean, there's so many, or even maybe some other company removed the dinosaurs on that island and brought them to like another island or another sanctuary. Like, there's so many speculations to what happened to Isla Sorna. Personally, I think it's just fine. Everything on the island's doing okay. Like, I'm not sure how big or how small the population is, but until we get confirmation, like full-on confirmation that there's nothing left on the island, I'm gonna say it's pretty much the same from what we last saw until we get further confirmation.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Because like we haven't had full-on confirmation what exactly happened, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to the novel, in the Lost World, I believe there was a really scary like horror scene where a pack of compies ended up eating a baby. That's horrifying.
Yeah, that happened in the first novel, so...
Or the first novel, yeah. Like, that's, like, when I first heard about that scene, I'm like, oh my god, they would never show that in a movie.
No, Steven Spielberg would agree with that. I mean, he said that was too horrific for his film.
True. However, in Battle of Big Rock, we almost saw that, but of course the baby got saved, which was good.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like when the Allosaurus was about to chomp on the baby, but, I mean, overturned the trailer.
Well, I'm glad that both babies survived, because seeing a baby dinosaur or a baby human, that's too dark, I guess. Like, that's something I would never, like, for even in our series, like, sure, we'll have some gruesome deaths in our series, but I'm never going to show a baby or a baby dinosaur dying. That's too dark.
Fair enough.
That's way too dark. Yeah. Like, there'll be gruesome deaths, but never, like, a baby or a baby dinosaur dying. That's too dark.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, what other main differences should we point out with the first novel? Anything else, or did we cover all the first novel?
Let me think.
How about Ian Malcolm? What was his character exactly like with the novel?
I mean, his novel was pretty, his novel counterpart was pretty similar to his film counterpart. Not really much
that's cool.
What was different. However, when Crichton originally wrote it, he had it that Malcolm died.
Oh wow! But I guess Malcolm, but in the canon, in the movie, he survived. But what of the novel? Did he survive in the novel?
Well, he was initially pronounced as dead, but it turns out that they were wrong, and that's why he's back in the Lost World novel.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I remember even with the novel, apparently, like, here's another thing. If Biosin was involved with the second novel, they actually went to Isla Sorna to capture dinosaur eggs, and apparently Dodgson was like trying to push Sarah Harding off the boat and stuff. Like, he was
he tried to kill her.
True.
Oh yeah, and also Malcolm doesn't have a daughter in the Lost World novel.
Yeah. So there's always big differences between movies and novels. That's something that's definitely a confirmed fact right there.
But yeah, instead of the daughter, there were actually two kids who were unrelated with him that went. Their names were Kelly Curtis and R.B. Benson.
Wow, so man, the Lost World novel is a lot different.
In fact, Franklin from Fallen Kingdom was apparently loosely inspired by R.B. from the Lost World novel.
Now that's pretty cool how that, like, I like how they incorporate a good amount from the novel into the movies. That's always fun to see. For sure. But yeah, like, it would have been cool to see Biosin in the Lost World to like go into Sorna to capture dinosaurs. I mean, there is rumors that we might see something similar to this in Jurassic World Dominion, but we'll have to wait and see.
And then in the Lost World novel, Dodgson dies in a very similar way to Peter Ludlow.
Yeah, he dies by a baby Tyrannosaurus-Rex.
Yeah, like Dodgson and Sarah Harding are hiding under a vehicle where the Rexes are, and then Dodgson gets pushed out from under the vehicle. The mother Rex grabs him, and then she feeds Dodgson to her babies.
Well, this was probably inspired by, I mean, I guess the death scene we saw in the Lost World was definitely inspired by the Lewis Dodgson death scene.
Although different circumstances were there.
True. Like, it was similar, but not the exact same. But what's another thing I could talk about? I mean, John Hammond in the novel, he died by a pack of Procompsognathus. Yeah. But in the movie canon, he died a couple of months after the events of the Lost World Jurassic Park due to sick old age or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the
So
Jurassic
obviously,
Park novel, he was walking about in the forest when some sound scared him, which he thought was the young T-Rex, but it was just Lex and Tim messing around with the controls.
oh
He fell
wow.
down a hill, broke his ankle, and then the Procomsignathus pack like flocked him and ate him.
Oh my god, that's dark. That's scary, man.
And it was right after, and that all happened right after he cursed his
Wow.
grandkids for saying he
Wow.
never should have invited him over.
That's for sure. Was Roland Tembo in the novel or
No,
no?
Roland Temple was a film exclusive character.
Well, that's great. I mean, that's one thing I definitely prefer over the novels. I do like because I do like that character Roland Temple in the Lost World.
Yeah,
That was
Roland's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like besides that, I can't really come up with too many other differences. I think we covered majority. Is there any couple others we should talk about? I think there's a couple, maybe, right?
Oh, remember the Raptor Chase? I mean, the Raptor motorcycle scenes in Jurassic World where Owen's running alongside his Raptor pack on his motorcycle?
Let me guess. That was inspired by the Lost World novel.
Yes. Basically, there was a scene where Oh, also that reminds me of another thing. Remember the character of Eddie Carr in the movie?
I do. Yeah.
In the movie, in the novel, he was killed by raptors.
Oh wow, so it's different, eh?
And also, like during that scene, one of the kids, Arby, gets into this cage to help protect him.
Wow.
But the cage gets locked, and then like a raptor runs off with the key. So Sarah Harding and Kelly get on a motorcycle to chase after the raptor.
Wow, that's pretty scary. Now, what was I going to say? That kind of reminds me of something similar because I know in Jurassic Park 3, originally, I'm not sure if you heard about this, but originally, Udesky was supposed to die by the Spinosaurus instead of Nash in that scene there. And then later on, Nash would have been killed off by the Velociraptors, but that got changed in the final cut. I wonder why though, because originally we would have saw like Udesky, he would have been pulled out by the Spinosaurus and murdered, but then of course Nash would have still been alive and he would have been eventually killed off by the Raptors. But for some reason they changed it. I don't know why though.
Don't know why either, but I believe that was I think that may have been inspired by Eddie's death in the Lost World novel.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, there's always, like, obviously, like, there's always a lot of cut scenes and cut battles from the movies. Like, there's certain battles I'm glad are cut. There's certain things I wish they kept in. But anyways, going back to the novels, I'm trying to think if I can come up with anything else. I mean, I think did we cover it all, or?
I think we got the main points. I mean,
Sure.
there are a
Yeah,
few
we
other
definitely got at
details,
least
like
85% of it.
Like, there are some differences with the novels, like mostly like with characterizations and how people look physically and stuff.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure. There's definitely Dr. Grant. He's a much different character in the novel.
Or like how Lex and Tim's ages were switched around in the novel.
True.
Like Lex was the younger sibling and Tim was the older one in the original novel, whereas
Oh,
Lex
wow,
was older
that's
in the
pretty
movie,
interesting.
but Tim was younger in the novel.
I did not know that. So yeah, in the novel, Tim was the older one and Lex was the young one. Wow, that's a pretty big difference. Oh my god,
And also,
the novel's so
in the
much
novel,
different.
Tim had the hacking skills that Lex had in the movie.
So they really, it seems like the movies and novels are like the opposite of each other. Because think about it, we got a fully grown Dilophosaurus in the novels and a gruesome death, and in Jurassic Park we got a juvenile Dilophosaurus and a non-gruesome death. And then of course Lex and Tim were the opposites. So like it's like the exact, like what's next? If Jurassic Park 3's novel was made by Michael Crichton, it would have been a weak scientifically accurate Spinosaurus. Like it's just so, I bet you, if they made a Jurassic Park 3 novel, I might plan to maybe write this one day too. Maybe it's like a weak scientifically accurate Spinosaurus or even a baryonyx in the novel.
Well, considering
Imagine.
that, the Jurassic Park novels were like released in the 90s and, they were using most of the science that was known at the time, I'm sure the Spinosaurus probably wouldn't be that as weak as the scientifically accurate one is today, but probably more in
That's
line
true,
with
that's true.
how they would have thought it was back in the day,
Imagine one day they make like a Jurassic Park 3 but novel version and they make it a lot different. That would be interesting to see. Like imagine it's like some sort of biosyn plot in there and it's a weak scientifically accurate Spinosaurus. Like that would be different, man.
Very.
Definitely would satisfy the Rex fans because like obviously you know me, I'm a fan of the hybrid Spinosaurus more than the accurate one, right?
Yep.
Just because the accurate Spinosaurus that I love no longer exists, right?
Right.
But it is what it is. Paleo, that's what happens in paleontology. These dinosaurs always get reconstructed to be either stronger or weaker. But anyways, I think we covered it all.
Yeah, I think we did. And were there any differences we missed catching? Are there any differences that we missed in this video?
Exactly. Tell us in the comments down below if we missed anything, and we hope you all enjoyed this video. Take care, everyone. To end this video, I'd like to give a huge thanks to my YouTube team. David Church, the best I met on Instagram. BK Go Crazy, my very first hardcore Spinosaurus fan. Anthony Ellis, my drawer, who draws epic background pictures that I use in some of my videos. Rafly Siregar, my comedian, since he makes me laugh the most. And Animal World, my best dinosaur friend in real life. If any of you know how to make custom 3D dinosaur or human models, please contact me, as I'm currently looking for someone. And I'm also currently looking for an artist to help me create Spinosaurus the King merchandise. The benefits I offer if you either join my team to help animate or help create custom models: I share my Patreon donations with my animators. I share my PayPal donations with my animators. A shout out at the end of every video I upload, and your YouTube social media links in the description of every video I upload. Animating with me will definitely provide you great practice to significantly over time improve your animation and custom 3D model skills. If my YouTube channel gets big one day, I'll definitely make sure your channel does as well. And the benefits of you becoming my artist designer: I will split every t-shirt sale I make on Teespring 50-50 between the both of us, and I will give your social media and YouTube a shout out at the end of every video I upload, plus your links in the description below. Also, I got brand new Patreon offers that are currently available on my Patreon for tires. And another one is custom Photoshop thumbnails, where I make thumbnails that are $5 per one. Another offer is just to support us in general. And then the last one is a YouTube discussion video with me once a month. It can be up to 1 hour long. That will cost $15 a month. And if you join any of my Patreon offers, your social media links will be in the description below and at the end of every video. And you'll also be able to pick future topics for the channel. Also, if you guys wish to join my Discord server to chat with me about Jurassic Park and other stuff, you're more than welcome to. Just remember to be respectful and polite. The link will be in the description below to my website and my Discord. If you're enjoying the content on my YouTube channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you don't miss anything new. Leave a like and a friendly comment. If you have any friends and family who you think would enjoy my content, please share this video with them, and also my YouTube channel too. And don't forget to do the exact same thing for my YouTube team. And have an amazing day, everyone.